and welcome to Qtr Time podcast. I'm Lucy G.
And I'm Lucy P.
And we're here to bring you all the netball goodness you never knew you needed. Hello everybody and welcome to the final instalment of our Nations Cup mini-series. Today's episode is an absolute corker. It's a special interview with Australian Diamond Jamie Lee Price. We discuss the Diamond's success over the last couple of years, maintaining a legacy, rivalries, the Diamond's biggest weaknesses, her experience growing up in New Zealand and so much more. It's a really great insight into someone who is without a doubt a linchpin for the current Australian side. So happy listening.
It is such a pleasure to welcome Australian Diamond Jamie Lee Price onto the podcast. How are you doing, Jamie Lee?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you going?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And you're back home in Australia now, and the Netball Nations Cup was, of course, the last Diamonds outing before Suncorp Super Netball begins. So just tell me, will you have a bit of time to relax and recover, or is it straight back to the grindstone in Clubland?
Yeah, we got back last Tuesday night and it's actually been really nice. We've had the rest of the week off and back into it tomorrow. So I feel like I'm feeling very rested. And I'm raring to go and just get back into Giants Land and see the girls because I feel like I haven't seen them for a while and just catch up on what everyone had been up to and it looks like they've been working really hard and obviously I know a lot of the new girls, but it'll be great to see them in the Giants environment as well.
And I guess it's good as well. They do say that phrase, a change is as good as a rest. So when you've been focusing and working so hard on being around the Diamonds environment to then be able to just have like a bit of a reset and get yourself back into club mode must be quite refreshing.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important. I think when you are on tour, it's just go, go, go. And especially when you travel so far and, you know, your body's working overtime and especially playing internationally, it definitely takes a toll on you mentally and physically. So it's always nice just to get back, get your body back in the time zone and get a bit more sleep and rest up and get ready for what's to come, which is going to be another big season in SSN.
And how did you find that traveling? I mean, I recently did the long journey. I've moved over from England to New Zealand, and it was a very long time. I mean, that second leg is just ridiculous, like 16 hours or something to come over here. It must be about roughly similar to that from the UK to Australia. How did you cope with the travel?
Yeah, I think we're quite used to it now. We've been to England for, I don't know how long it's been now, but it's been probably 3 or 4 years. So I think we're definitely used to the long haul flights, but it never gets easier, especially when, I think it's either 14 hours. We went 14 hours to Dubai and then we went 7 hours from Dubai to England. And that was all right. But I feel like the worst thing is coming home, you do the short leg and then you have to go to the long leg to then get home. So that is always such a long flight back home, especially when you're looking forward to getting back home and seeing your loved ones and just getting back into the warm weather.
Yeah. Oh God, I can imagine that's a shock as well, going from the middle of winter in England. But obviously it's a little bit nicer to come back with a trophy in the luggage as well, which is always good. Probably makes that journey a little bit easier on the way home. And I wanted to ask you to reflect on the performance of the Diamonds throughout the Netball Nations Cup. You actually only lost 2 quarters across the entire competition, which is insane. One against New Zealand and one against England. So it was clearly an extremely successful tournament for you guys. So what is the one key thing you would attribute that success in this tournament to?
Oh, I think the versatility and the depth that we have in our squad is just second to none. I think we have so much versatility. Everyone can play multiple positions and there's no set starting 7. So everyone is always ready to get on court. And whenever someone gets on, they just do their job so seamlessly. And I think we worked really hard over the break and we were training really hard. And so once we got into camp, we were like raring to go and we were ready to play some netball, which was really exciting. And I feel like whenever we go into camp, our first session is always a bit ugly. But once we got into our first session in the new year, it was just like we were ready to go, we were raring to go. And I think that's just like a testament to, all the girls in the squad that just work really hard over the break, like Christmas break, because I feel like that's so challenging. That's such a challenging time. Is playing in January, is having to train and keep fit over that Christmas break when you're spending time with your loved ones and your family and friends. But yeah, everyone is just so willing to do the hard work, and I think we've got such an amazing coaching staff, and our staff in general just work really hard and make sure that we have everything that we need to do to prepare us for January, which I find in the past has been really challenging, but I think we were just ready to go.
And I guess it's finding that balance, isn't it, over Christmas, with giving yourselves enough time to rest, but also keeping one eye on that competition coming up. And I mean, it's amazing the Diamond's success over the last 2 years, obviously into the past as well, but particularly the last 2 years in recent memory. And I do think that the processes that you guys have to bring up new players and then for them to slot in so seamlessly is so impressive. And I really like what you mentioned there about the versatility in the different styles. And obviously that's really crucial when you come up in a tournament format against different styles of opposition. And that was something that I really loved about the Netball Nations Cup, was the different styles of play that we saw on court. So how was your experience of coming up against the different playing styles, including meeting Uganda for the first time in an international test?
Yeah, I think it's something that we're obviously a bit used to, being that, we've had the last cycle, there's been the Com Games and the World Cup, so everyone's kind of used to playing back-to-back games and playing against different styles of play. But it is always challenging, especially when you play against a team that you're not familiar with at all. So Uganda, obviously, being that we've never played them ever, so that was kind of like a hysterical moment. I feel like I say hysterical or hysterical. I don't know. I get really confused.
Do you mean historical?
Yes, that I see. I say it wrong every time, and I said that on live TV, and I was like, "Oh no, that is just horrible."
Don't worry, we've all been there. That's fine. No, I'm with you. It was a great game though, and I do think like really a good first outing from Uganda to bring it to the world number ones like they did, particularly in that first half.
Yeah, and I think that they bring it to every team that they played against, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy, that's for sure. And I think that they play such a unique style of game, and they're such a patient team. So we knew that it was going to take a lot of hard work, and it is really exhausting when a team is so patient with the ball and they take so long to score. So I think it was such a massive test for us as well, in being patient and just taking it goal by goal, but also that's one thing that I love about our team so much, is that it doesn't matter who takes the court, and whenever someone does take the court, it's so refreshing and so different. So I think that's something that we've definitely adapted really well, in terms of like we know how, we know individually what someone brings, and when someone takes that court, we know that they're going to bring something different, and we kind of celebrate that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love celebrating that difference. That's such a great way to put it. And you've obviously met England now in the last 2 tournament finals. And Kira Austin spoke to ABC recently about the rivalry with England. And she said, I think it's almost taking over the rivalry we have with New Zealand. We love taking it to them in front of an English crowd. There's just something about beating another team in their own country. I thought that was fascinating what she said, and I absolutely loved it. So how did playing England in the UK compare to when you met them at the Netball World Cup?
Oh, I think it's so different. I think when you're at home and you have, your home crowd backing for you, and they're so loud and they're so passionate, it definitely gives you so much more of an edge. And I think that they're such a strong team, and they have so much experience, but then they have so much, I guess youth as well, in the sense that they have lost so many experienced players, but their shooting end is exceptional. And, that we play them week in, week out in SSN. So I don't know. I just feel like the last couple of tournaments, yeah, we have created a bit of a rivalry, and I think it's not taking away from what we have with New Zealand because that's many, many years of history there. But yeah, I like that we have this competitiveness against England, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a painful final for me to watch, obviously, as an England fan, as you can probably tell from my accent. But just from the Diamonds' perspective, the way that you guys were able to execute in that high pressure moment was really, really inspiring and amazing to see. And it was a very successful tournament for you personally, and you picked up an MVP award from one of the games, and you actually played at least 45 minutes in each test, proving just how valuable that you are in the Diamonds setup. And you're now approaching your 50th cap, I believe.
Oh, I think like very soon. I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 games away, but it's really soon, which is crept up really quickly.
That's amazing. I mean, what an achievement. So what motivates you to continue to strive for just further greatness in the Diamonds environment?
I feel like it's the culture that we've created within the group. I think debuting for the Diamonds once is an honor, and it's like crazy in itself. But to be able to stay in the Diamonds environment for so long and to hopefully get to the 50 games is pretty crazy. And I think it's such a competitive environment, and we just like love each other so much. I feel like we just all get along really well, and when we do play against each other or train against each other, we're always trying to make each other better. And we have created such a competitive environment, and I just love that. Whoever takes the court, they give their absolute best, and I think that Stacey Marinkovic has created or given us so much trust that she can put whoever out there and they'll do the job no matter what. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that like we've created such a really good culture within the Diamonds environment, and yeah, I love it so much, and I don't want to give it up until I'm ready to, which I'm definitely not ready to.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, we are definitely hoping that you don't give it up anytime soon, because we absolutely love watching you out on court. And the Diamonds have, had a very successful past few years, as we mentioned, winning every trophy since 2022, including World Cup and Commonwealth Games gold. And you were one of 7 Diamonds from the 2023 World Cup winning team, who were also part of the 2019 World Cup side who won silver. So when you reflect on the journey throughout those 4 years, including for yourself narrowly missing out on Commonwealth Games selection, what are some of the key lessons that you've learned about yourself during that time?
I think the biggest thing personally is just having confidence in yourself and what you bring to the squad and to the team. I think I didn't realize probably what I was capable of or what my ability was until I kind of got dropped, and then I was like, oh, okay, like that's like I want to be in that team, or I want to be in the squad, and you're in that team or that squad for a reason because you bring something different, and you probably don't really realize those types of things until you do get dropped or something kind of happens for you to kind of reflect on that and be like, okay, yep, this is something that I don't know if it's just a bit of a realization or it's like I don't know, but after that I just wanted to work really hard, and I knew that I still had another level to give. And I think being in this Diamonds environment, like we all work really hard, and we are very competitive, and I think we have such high expectations of each other and ourselves that when we feel like we don't really deliver, we go back to the drawing board, and we're ready to go like literally the next day. So yeah, we've just created something like really special, and I think the hardest part now, or the easiest part, is to keep evolving that, because I think teams are obviously looking at what we've done, and obviously we have a bit of not a target on our back, but we are the benchmark essentially, and yeah, if we don't continually get better, then teams are going to catch up to us, and we want to continually keep being successful. So
And something that's really stuck out to me there is about the kind of mental resilience that you have to kind of get up every day and want to improve and keep striving. Even when you are at the top of the pile, you can see those other teams kind of chasing you as well. And just to flip all the success that the Diamonds have had in recent years on its head, if you had to name something, what would you say is the Diamonds' biggest challenge or weakness?
oh, Um,
It's fine to say
I
we're the
feel
best in the world. There's nothing.
Oh no. I think I honestly think that in international netball it's like margins. So I think our biggest weakness is probably like pressure. I feel like we haven't necessarily had the best track record against New Zealand in New Zealand, and I don't know if that's because when we go over there the crowd is roaring and they're loud and they're passionate, and when teams put it to us where yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're perfect. I think we've still got a lot to improve on, and we've still got a fair way to go, which is really exciting.
I have to say, like that, there really isn't much. I was trying, when we were looking at this series and trying to analyze, what went well for people and what didn't, and it's really hard to pick out an area for the Diamonds that is a weakness. But I think what's so inspiring is how yourself there and also Stacey talked about continually wanting to get better, and that kind of aspiration, even when I just don't know why I thought of like an astronaut. Like you've already got to the moon, but you're already thinking like, where's the next thing? I want to kind of find that next target and hit the next destination. So yeah, it must be amazing to be a part of such a successful Diamonds legacy as well in recent years.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think, we always touch on the history of diamonds and how successful that the players that have been before us and how they've created such a successful, I guess, resume. And we want to continue that and yeah, keep striving to be the best because of our rich history and yeah, I guess what we've seen growing up, that's what we want to continue to keep doing and, put the game in a better place. Ooh, like I know for me personally, like when I retire, I want to know that, I look back and we were as successful as we could be, and I don't want to look back with any regrets. And I know how much it hurts to lose in finals by, one goal or just that tiniest margin. But then when you win by the tiniest margin, it's like you feel on top of the world. So yeah, I just feel like creating such a rich, successful diamonds culture is really exciting, and I feel like we're definitely on the right page. But yeah, I still feel like we have so much more to give, and like I said, we've got a 4-year cycle that's I guess just started from January to the next World Cup in Sydney. And we're really looking forward to growing netball in Australia, but also worldwide, and making people, I guess, a lot. I feel like watching the Matildas at the World Cup in Australia this year was so inspiring, and like that would be my dream goal for us as the Diamonds to have that much support and so many people backing us, and just getting around netball in general. And I feel like that's something that we definitely want to strive for. Sorry, that was
Yeah.
really off topic.
No, I love that. Honestly, it's all about that being a role model at the top level and inspiring the next generation. And I think I saw I think it's one of the Super Netball teams posting that, when I grow up, I want to be a Swift, something like that. A little girl, talking about her dreams of going on to be a netball player. And you're paving the way for that, obviously, with what you guys do. And the national success has a massive echo down all the way down to grassroots, and it's just amazing for the sport and kind of growing and developing the game as well. But I just wanted to touch on something about your kind of personal journey. And obviously, we know that you grew up in New Zealand. You moved over here when you were 8. And by the time you were 15, you'd represented New Zealand in 3 different sports, later making your elite netball debut for the Magic at just 17 years old. And you said in an article that was published on the Diamonds website that New Zealand was an amazing place to grow up, and I'm so grateful that I got to experience that culture. I think it's really turned me into the person and player that I am today. I thought that was really beautiful. So can you share some thoughts about your experience growing up in New Zealand and how you coped with the pressure to, quote unquote, pick a side when the time came to do that in your career?
Yeah, I think I just have so much gratitude and gratefulness to give to New Zealand, because I genuinely don't think that I would be the person or the athlete that I am today if I didn't live there for 13 years. And they gave me so much and they taught me so much, and I just like loved it. I loved living there. I love the people. I love the country. It's so beautiful, and just the culture as well. And I think everyone makes you feel like, wraps your arms around you and makes you feel like family. And I know that my family definitely felt like it was a home away from home. And I know that when I was making the decision, it was such a hard choice because I had lived there for so long, even though I knew deep down that, Australia has always been my home, and that's where all my extended family are, and I'm very close with all my family. And whenever I had a time off, I'd go back home to Australia, and it always felt like home. But yeah, when I had to make that decision, it was really hard because I had so many friends that became family, and the netball, I was really comfortable there, and they taught me so much. And it was a really hard decision, but I feel like I did make the right decision in the long haul. But yeah, my experience in New Zealand was amazing, and now I feel like I'm just repeating myself. But I loved it so much, and I know my mum and my dad and my siblings loved it so much, and I don't think they ever saw a day where they knew when they were going to leave New Zealand. But I think once I made my decision to leave, they were like, okay, let's go home. I haven't been back on a holiday yet, but whenever I go to play over in New Zealand, I always get to catch up with some old schoolmates and people that I still keep in touch with. And it's really weird playing against New Zealand because a lot of the girls I used to play with or play against in school days. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think Maya Wilson, maybe were you in the secondary schools team with her? I think I saw, and
Yeah.
that must be quite a funny experience. But I suppose now it's been a few years, and you're more familiar with it. But I totally agree with everything you said. I've just moved to New Zealand from the UK, and there's something so special about the people here. I really think it's that focus on community and family that's really, really nice. And I imagine it was quite a tough decision to make to actually leave New Zealand. But someone who was quite influential in that decision was obviously Julie Fitzgerald. And you've actually played all bar one season of elite netball under Julie, I believe. And you're coming up to nearly 10 years of Julie. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with her and the kind of qualities that are important to you in a coach.
Yeah, I think I've been really lucky in regards to having someone like Julie. I think she is someone that I would trust with my whole life. I moved to the Waikato Bay Plenty, which is probably an hour and a half away from Auckland, when I was 17 years old. Because she was away from her family as well, she kind of created that family type environment. And, there's nothing quite like when you're away from home having someone that you can go to and trust in so much. And I feel like we have such a great relationship in regards to on the court, that she can tell me straight up if I'm having a good game or a really, really bad game, and it won't hurt my feelings at all. Or even just in life, like I remember she'd always tell me if I've got my long loving partner now, but she definitely likes him, which makes me feel a lot better. But she'll let you know if she likes your partner or not. And I don't know, I just love that she's so open and honest. And just as a coach, I feel like she brings the best out of you. She challenges you in ways that you probably don't like at the time, but you appreciate in the long run. And I think when I was making my decision to move to Australia, she didn't promise me anything, which I really appreciate, because I feel like there are probably a lot of coaches that will, promise you the world, and then you get there and they probably don't pull through with anything. She kind of gave me some hard realities, which is what I needed. In terms of like when I was making the decision to move to Australia, she's like, I can't guarantee that you debut for the Diamonds. I can't guarantee this or that, but I can guarantee that you won't regret your decision in, playing in the best league in the world and blah, blah, blah. So those are the types of things that I really love. And I love that she's such a family woman. Like, even when I moved to Sydney away from my family again, her kids and everyone kind of gets around you, and she brings you over for dinners and things like that. So she doesn't only just love you as an athlete, she loves you as a person. And I think she's just so caring, and she'll give you everything in like as long as, you know, you give everything back, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's been 10 years, but it feels like, I mean, it's gone so fast. Like it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. But yeah, I am very loyal to her, and I always will be. So yeah.
Wow. What an amazing insight there into your relationship and someone who's been so influential with you over that number of years. I mean, nobody would stick with a coach if they didn't like them, obviously, but to hear that, you know, connection that you have and, you know, how significant a part of your journey she's been is really amazing. You're making me want to go and play for Julie. Like, is she running any clinics or anything? I don't know. But I know you're short on time, so I'll just wrap up with one final question, if that's okay. But looking ahead to season 2024, you've got a huge season coming up in SSN. Obviously, you know, you will have in your sights the idea to win a premiership this season. But outside of that, what are your personal kind of goals and targets for the year ahead?
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm kind of at the point now where I feel like not that netball's been my whole life, but I feel like I've put so much time and energy into netball, and I just like love traveling, and I love seeing my family, and you know, camping and going on the boat and whatever. But I kind of feel like I'm at a point at the moment where I just want something else outside of my netball life. So I've applied for like TAFE, which is not uni but kind of is, and I'm doing a masters of a business course essentially.
Wow.
This year, which I'm really excited about because it's, you know, it's something different. It's something outside of netball, and I think I'm ready to start learning. I feel like since being out of school, I never really knew what I wanted to do, and I wasn't all that motivated to want to do something. But now I think I'm definitely ready, and I just want to do something different and yeah, see what happens. I can't guarantee that I'm going to love it, but I will try my best and see how I go.
I love that. No, I really like that about just wanting to learn, because I mean, isn't that that's the point of life, right? To learn as much as you can and to absorb new things. And you know, I think it was somebody was saying that having, I think it was Layla Guscoth actually said having her career alongside being a netballer actually really, you know, enriched her as a person, and also starting to think about, you know, adding other strings to your bow and things like that, you know, and as you go on in your career is really awesome. So amazing news. Good luck with that. I hope it goes really well for you this year. And obviously, I'm sure you'll be amazing on court as well. But thank you so much for your time today, Jamie Lee. It's been really awesome getting to know you.
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks for having me. It's been really good.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Qtr Time Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and follow us on social media at Qtr Time Pod for the latest netball updates. Our next episode will be coming out just before the start of the Netball Super League season, so stay tuned for the announcement coming soon on socials for that one. We'd also really appreciate it if you could take a moment to rate and review, as it helps other people to find the podcast. If you enjoy listening, please do let us know, and do spread the word with your netball pals so that even more people can get involved. Take care, everyone, and see you soon. Bye.